Welcome back to our channel. Today's topic is all about language in psychology. Okay, people also ask what is language in psychology. The language is ability to produce and comprehend both spoken and written, and in the case of sign language, signed words. Understanding how language works means reaching across many branches of psychology, everything from basic neurological functioning to high-level cognitive processing. Okay, so here are some questions. How does language relate to psychology? Psycholinguistic or psychology of language is the study of the interrelation between linguistic factors and psychological aspects. Psycholinguistics is concerned with the cognitive faculties and processes that are necessary to produce the grammatical constructions of language. Okay, other question is, what is the purpose of language in psychology? Okay, so the purpose of language in psychology, the first is that language enable us to express our wishes, feelings, likes, dislikes, and ideas. Its symbolic function, this language achieves by encoding and externalizing our thoughts. Okay, other question is, what are two basic elements of language in psychology? Make that three. Basic elements of language: the phonemes, sounds, morphemes, basic units of the meaning, the syntax, or the grammar. Those are the three purposes of make that three elements of psychology. Well, let's go to the purpose of psychology. We answered this already, so we go to the next question. The 5 levels of language. Here are some 5 levels of language. Phonetics, phonology, this is the level of sounds. Morphology, this is the level of words and endings. To put it simplified terms. Syntax, this is the level of sentences. Semantics, this is the area of meaning. Pragmatics, the concern here is with the use of language in a specific situation. Those are the 5 levels of language. Now let's go to the 5 aspects of language. What are the 5 aspects of language? Linguists have identified 5 basic components: the phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Those are the 5 aspects of language. Okay, let's continue, guys, with our topic, language in early period of childhood. And today's topic is about language development in psychology. Now, let's take a look at 1 to 2 months development of a child. Cooing. What is the term cooing? These are unlearned, but months later it will disappear and some will develop into babbling. One to 2 months old, the language is called cooing. 5 to 7 months, the language of a baby is called babbling. Babbling is a stage in a child language acquisition during which an infant appears to be experimenting with uttering sounds of language, but not yet producing any recognizable words. 2 types of babbling. Reduplicative babbling. The former consists of repeated syllables such as the ba, ba, and some are ma, or na, or da. That is reduplicative babbling. Variegated babbling. The former consists of a mix of syllables. Example, kadabu, bamidoy, doy. That is variegated babbling. Additional characteristics. During this stage, the child can able to do this. Vocalization with no intonation. Responds to his name. Responds to human voices without visual cues by turning his head and eyes. Responds appropriately to friendly and angry tones. Again, 1 to 2 months, the language is cooing. 5 to 7 months, language is bubbling. 1 year old, words are being formed. Now let's go to 1 year old. The language of 1 year old. Some characteristics. Uses one or more words with meaning. This may be fragment of a word. Understands simple instruction, especially if vocal or physical cues are given. Aware of social value of speech. 2 years old. He already has fair size vocabulary of nouns, adjectives, and verbs. They may use short sentences such as "see go, bye-bye," and "what you doing." They may also use familiar words incorrectly. Example, a child with a pet dog might describe all large furry animals as doogie. The 2 years old, other characteristics. Can name a number of objects common to his surroundings. Can combine words into a short sentence, largely noun-verb combination. Length of sentence is given as 1.2 words. Approximately 2/3 of what a child says should be intelligible. Vocabulary of approximately 150 to 300 words. And can respond to such commands as "show me your eyes," "show me your nose." 2 to 4 years old. It is the period when the child is increasing its vocabulary. That's 2 to 4. While 6 years old, the average 6-year-old child has a vocabulary of about 7,000 to 8,000 words. Speech should be completely intelligible and socially useful. Should be able to tell a rather connected story about a picture and see relationships. Development of vocabulary continues for many years, from infancy down to old age. Factors that influence speech development. Number 1, sex. Girls tend to speak earlier and more skillfully than boys. Socioeconomic status. Children from higher socioeconomic groups speak earlier, express themselves better, and talk more than those from the lower groups. Family relationships. A healthy family relationship facilitates speech development. Number of siblings. An only child acquires language earlier than those siblings close in age. Health. Severe and prolonged illness during the first 2 years of life delays the beginning of speech and the use of sentence by 1 to 2 months. Okay guys, so for your homework, can you answer these questions here? How does language relate to psychology? What is the purpose of language in psychology? Number 3, what are the 2 basic elements of language in psychology? And what are the 5 levels of language? What are the 5 aspects of language? Okay, you can submit your answers written in the bond paper right here in our Google Classroom. hand it in our Google Classroom, and also save your hard copy in the folder or brown envelopes for more for the future use. Alright, so I'll see you on our next lesson. Thank you. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe, hit the red button below, share the videos for more updates. Thank you.